Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
We've got a new guest on, 1-1, Ruby. Welcome, how are we?
Sound, dude. Ghosty.
In the mic groups, remember where we are. But this is of course the team that you're looking at now at the Kop TV this season. Ruby Deschamps, James Redmond, and myself.
That's a sick second name, by the way. How sick's that second Deschamps?
She's got about 9 second names.
Oh yeah, my name is so long, it's a joke.
Yeah, she's got a lot.
When it's on the ID, it just has initials, because it's too long.
Yeah. So do you have like a bit of French in you?
Yeah, my brother.
There you go, Continental on the Kop TV. So it's not just, But listen, it's very exciting today. We're filming Hot Kopics from a brand new location. We are in fact in Jurgen's Beer House in the Strand in Liverpool. See amazing background here.
This is my baby. Members is what you
want. Listen, we've got our membership cards.
This is my baby.
And you can get one of these as well. If you come to Jurgen's and quote Hot Kopics, they give you 20% off. How about that?
Get on, man.
Can't be more fair than that, can we? And it is the best pub in Liverpool, in my opinion, in terms of if you're a Liverpool fan and you're coming here, it would be rude not to, you can go and see the team.
This is exactly where the biggest bit of the parade was.
It's just a shame we can't show you the rest of it. It's just a shame.
Listen, there will be videos where we can show you the rest, but we're opposite the line of buildings. If you're down there looking at the Beatles Museum and then you come over, have a drink. It's a good laugh here.
20% off, people, you can't complain.
Can't complain about that, so cheers to that. A nice one to Rory for having us. Right, episode 5 of Hot Kopics. It's been, obviously Liverpool haven't played, but it still feels like it's been a bit of a mental week. I mean, the first thing we're going to speak about, and obviously we are in the bar, there are going to be other people talking. You might hear a pool ball every now and again, you might hear some conversation. But it's the authentic noises.
We're bringing it to you.
You don't get in the flat. That's what you get.
The Liverpool experience.
Yeah.
We are on the Strand.
We are on the Strand, the most busy part of Liverpool. But anyway, international break is still ongoing. There is a game tomorrow, I think.
I want to stop you before you carry on. Why is there international breaks 3 games in? That's a joke. That is a joke. You've just got me started. There's a certain joke that I want to say, but I'm not going to say it because we're in a bit of a public location. But let's just say, don't get me started and then not finish. That's all I'm saying. Let me watch a few more games, do you know what I mean?
And there's another one next month.
It's a joke. I don't well done, I actually smashed it there. Actually done alright, PG,
I mean, the one thing that Liverpool fans want during the international break is our players to play well if they have to go.
And
to not get injured. But James, talk to me, because it looks like one of those things definitely happened, unfortunately.
And it's not just any old player that's been to a player that's been starting the first 3 games. Elliot, lad. We don't know how serious it is at time of recording. That being said, it's just not ideal however way you look at it. Even with Minamino, I've heard the news that he's injured as well. And already, we see ourselves in a position where we've just had a transfer window, we haven't spent no money, and already we've got a problem with the front 3. Last season it was the back 4, that was the issue. And actually, in many ways the front 3 also. There was a period last season where we weren't taking away our chances, and that's a problem when you're a team like us. We're known for scoring goals, we're known for having one of the best front 3s in the world, if not the best. So now, the reason why it's not looked at the same is because you do need to have other options to push everyone. That's the thing that I think we lack. But another thing that we lack, right now we've got Mane available, Jota available, and who's the other? Salah available.
That's it.
Firmino, Minamino and Harvey Elliot are all out. We've just sold Shaqiri, we just sold Harry Wilson, we never got any adequate replacements for those players. And yet we still expect to go and be successful.
We haven't stepped up for it at all.
I agree.
With all the transfers, we haven't stepped up.
Even with the rivals though, really, even with the rivals, they've gone out, they've strengthened and we've done nothing. We've done nada.
What did I say on the last episode? I said, I hope the fact that we've not bought a striker doesn't come back to bite us.
Yeah.
Potentially, it already has.
Less
than a week after the window's finished. Nil.
Well, yeah, we've done nil this summer, and that's for a club like Liverpool, one of the biggest club in the world, and with the fact that we won this very recently, we won a Champions League very recently. I don't understand why we're not spending, and I think it's going to harm us this season, because we shouldn't just be going for the league or just the Champions League. We should be going for all 4 fronts. Give the best manager in the world his best possible chance. We're in Jurgen's, it's named after him, and rightly so, because he's boss.
We said this on the last podcast. We were saying, well, you said potentially we could be wasting his best years by not investing in him. He's got his hands tied saying, look, I have got a list of players that I want to buy, but we're not buying them for him, which means that we're not using him to his best potential.
And all this bullshit about that Jurgen doesn't want new players, that's like, what person in any field doesn't take extra resources to help
but at the
them?
same time, it is smart that he's keeping hold of our key players and he's getting the long-term contracts in again.
I am not saying that sell Mane to bring in someone else. I think you keep Mane, I think you keep Salah, and I especially think you keep Firmino and you strengthen on top of that. Jota was a good signing for that reason. Pedro Neto or someone in that realm would also be able to push that front three. And it's so, when Mane isn't on form, someone can step in. Not all the pressure is on him. We've got to realise footballers are people. Things can go on, shit can happen. We saw that last season firsthand. You need adequate replacements. There we go. Injuries, we've got injuries in the squad. There we go. Little circumstances like that can pop into it. So all of that and more is why I think we should have done more in the summer, especially on top of what we saw other teams do, and now we're already suffering for it.
Let's talk about England. Obviously, there was some. I mean, we're watching TV now with Trent and Hendo. Both of those lads started.
They're young on this, aren't they?
Proper. That looks like 2017, I think.
Hey, Trent is chesty now, isn't he? Like, you see him there.
Talk to me about how you felt seeing Hendo and Trent, Ruby, line up for England last night. You're obviously close with Trent as well. Let's just slip that one. And you've interviewed Trent. We will put a link to that interview after in the description. But talk to me about how you felt seeing them two in midfield.
I think the fact that there was so much going around him playing right back or not for England, and then he never got chosen, there was that big uproar of it all. I think seeing him play in midfield, which is what a lot of Liverpool supporters want him to play, and he's being coached in it with Skip, so it was really nice to see him it's excelling really, isn't it? Because he constantly just gets compared to Gerrard anyway, so he is just excelling, and it's really nice for us to see.
I'm a four for England.
Gerrard's number.
I appreciate it, but he needs 66. That like he needs that number for the rest of us. Yeah, like everyone who's wearing the 66.
That's a good number for England. That was the year they won the World Cup.
That lad, you have just botched it there. You know. When I saw that he weren't looking at me, I moved it back as if we were going to load into that. Oh, the direction over there, you know what I mean? Little tension. No, I thought Trent was. Don't get me wrong, I thought it was a little bit slow, but what do you expect when that's the first time they've played that midfield in the style that England play as well? And I think Trent's a new role for him. You know, we went through the academy, but this is top level football, mate. Maybe not in that game specifically because the competition were and all that. And you saw later on in the game he kind of got moved back to right back. Listen, one thing we know, he's a good footballer.
That's where he used to play in the academy though.
Exactly, and we know that he can go forwards, we know he can do the job, but now he's so accustomed to just being on the right hand side, and he's doing a phenomenal job at that. Trend. Over the dead end of last year, he had that spell where he struggled, and I said, do you know what, I think this is only going to make him all the more of a better player.
See, I disagree with that though.
Which? The time where he
really struggled. I think that was during the time where a lot of our main players were injured.
Of course.
Because he was the scouser in
our
team, he was our
player
basically, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Everyone put the pressure onto him.
There's one thing I'll agree with you on, there's definitely external reasons. No, he's a baby, he's a baba.
He's older than you.
I'm a baby as well.
He's a baba.
In football teams, though, he is, you know what I mean?
That's like the age group now, though.
He's just started his career. Most players don't even get to this level.
He's achieved so much in his career. He's already set this
standard is here. But this is what I want to suggest though, is there was a cause externally. All I'm saying is, just from a wider perspective, that was one of Trent's poorest spells since he joined, or since he's involved in the first team. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was bad, but I also said these tough times where everyone's giving him stick, because you can't deny that there's many people giving him stick, because that's the way the football world works. I think that makes him stronger. I think the come down of going off winning the Champions League and the Premier League, I don't think he would have lost his head anyway, but I'm just saying, like, that humbles you in a way, because all Trent's used to is winning.
No, but he's
He's
not
used to
allowed to
winning.
be big-headed.
He's used
Well,
to
you know
winning.
it.
That's
You
what
know
I
it,
mean.
and
He's
you've
not,
always
he's
said
not
it.
allowed to be big-headed.
I
Even
get,
like,
and I don't think he would be anyway. That's what I've just said.
it's
I don't
like
think he
us and his brothers, well, both of them even, Tyler and Marcel, like his brothers, and then all of us as close people. He's just not allowed to
He's
be.
dead shy, isn't he?
Yeah, I've known him since I was like 15, and we didn't actually have a proper conversation until I was about 17 because he was just
he's
Tyler's
not
brother to me, and he
professional.
was just like, "Hi, you okay?"
You don't get, you do not get as good as Trent Alexander-Arnold is without hard work, dedication, and actual a proper mentality. You don't get into
I
it.
always laugh and say, like, without footy, he'd just be a proper loser because he doesn't do anything else.
That's not nice.
No, but that's because he's so dead. I say
Nah,
that to him though, do you know what I mean? Like, because literally that is all he wants to do, which is why that's so sick though, which is why he's excelled so much, which is why as well, it's amazing to see him excelling even further into the England squad.
Point being is that over the dead end of last season and the start of this season, he's been one of our most important players. I think at the end of last season, him and Thiago were the two most crucial parts, and Alisson, but they were the two most crucial parts of yeah, but I'm talking about the most crucial. I think Trent is the best performer in their last few games.
Listen,
Out of everyone, I think
Trent,
he makes everything click. That's what I suggest, and now you're seeing that even more. And he's not put a foot wrong at the start of this season, mate.
I feel like if Trent gets injured, we're going to see a huge difference in how we play because just having him on the pitch, it just opens up opportunities and passes that no one else could even see.
Yeah.
Things like Ronaldo coming back into this league though is going to make this season.
We said that about Salah,
Trent
didn't
and Ronaldo head to head.
we said that.
We played-
Hey, listen, all I'm
Never
going to say is Trent pocketed Ronaldo in the final when we played them. He
That's
did.
true.
That is actually facts.
We lost that final.
No, we lost the final. None of that was Trent's fault. None of that was Trent's fault, though. Not one bit.
Let's speak about
solid.
I mean, more international freight news.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is a military coup in Guinea where Naby Keita is on duty, which kind of means that the army has just taken over the whole country.
Naby's stuck.
Naby might be stuck in Guinea, and I think there was a tweet that said they're in constant contact with Naby
To make sure he's okay.
to make sure
I
he's
did not know
okay.
this.
Wait, is he coached
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can't assume
It's
things,
a
can
different,
you? Because I was about to say,
what we're used to, it literally is a completely different
yeah, we
world
can't
though.
really comment on it because I don't even assume, it's with the national team, we'll be fine. But, and I'd love to say that, but I don't know. Like, the world's a mad place, I don't know what's going on. All I'm saying is, if you're watching Naby, get home safe, because this is your home now.
Well, what better day, Naby, lads?
Well, exactly. Naby, lad.
Nah, I didn't even mean it like that. No one better days than Naby, though, because, lads, I want to go down there and grab myself. I hope he's sweet, you know what I mean? Get home safe, Naby.
You better leave now, Tim.
You better
You better get on your way
There's a
now.
flight from John Lennon.
Don't
Right,
let anything get in the
break.
way, man. You'd have to go to London to then go somewhere.
Diversion. But anyway, in all seriousness, though, I hope Naby is okay and he can get back to Kirby
Nah,
as soon as possible to train. Obviously, there is more international games this week, and then we play Leeds at the weekend. I'm going to that game. It's going to be incredible. I mean, it's our first kind of big away game.
Yeah.
I think since fans have come back, where there's going to be
I
real
think that'd
atmosphere.
be just a really good game though, because obviously Bamford and
Calvin Phillips.
Rafinha, yeah, them two together. I feel like the way we're saying Trent fills in certain places, the way he's moved into midfield is a lot like he has the capability to play like De Bruyne, I think. So I think Rafinha, whatever his name is.
Rafinha.
he's like kind of that in one, like, but he can also play like the Mane role. Do you know what I mean? Like he's very technical, but he's just quick.
And why don't we buy it?
Who are we talking about here?
Rafinha.
Oh, shit, bitch. Why didn't we get Rafinha? Why didn't we get Neto? Why didn't we get all these players that were obviously available and would definitely join Liverpool?
He's in my fantasy.
Rafinha's posh.
So that would be a tough
Yeah,
one.
he's sick.
Sunday night, and that will obviously be after the international break. But some news that has popped up, I mean, listen, these international breaks sometimes quiet in terms of news for Liverpool. But one thing that popped up towards the end of last week is the fact that Mohamed Salah, everyone was saying he's the last one to get nailed down into the contract. We've got all the core there. There's rumours, James, that he's come out and he's asked for 500 grand. But before you get into this, let me say this: two things. Number one, if he wants that, he's earned it. Number two, if we don't pay it, someone else will.
Yeah.
James,
That
one,
is
do you
exactly
think it's
though
true?
with Genie.
One, do you think it's true? And two, what's going to happen here?
First off, that is the most complete nonsense that I've ever heard in my life. Do you know this notion that people like to put and receive of Mo Salah, that he's a money grabbing this and he's selfish, this, that? There is no evidence to back up your claim. None.
And he's been on the same wage for like 5 years.
He's
now.
backed up everything he said. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we should be paying anyone $500,000, but if there was anyone in that squad that does deserve that, it's Mo Salah. When you talk about the Champions League final that we lost, Mo Salah. When you talk about the Champions League that we won, Mo Salah, who scored in that game as well. Then when you talk about the Premier League, we're the top goal scorer, or there and thereabouts. You've got to give it to
in
Mo
the top
Salah.
3 at least, wasn't it?
Was it like the joint golden boot that year? Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Either way,
Do you
the
think he'd be
point
getting
still
it again
stands.
this season now with Ronaldo coming in?
Yeah, and we made this point last week. I think it's going to make him all the more hungry. You're Mo Salah, and you're like, wow, Ronaldo's just came to this league, I'm going to be pressing him down for these numbers.
No, but as much as I love him and as much as he obviously follows through with all his goals and stuff, it could obviously have the potential of making him a lot more greedy than sometimes he can be.
I disagree. I don't think, I think that's just the wrong perception of Mo Salah. I don't think he's
Do you
greedy.
not think he's greedy?
Not at all. I think he's a goal
I love
scorer.
him.
Is Mo Salah greedy? Let us know in the comments.
No, he's not. He's a goal scorer.
Honestly, one of the
In terms
loveliest
of goals,
people I've ever
No, he's a
met.
goal scorer, he's not greedy, he's a goal scorer, and if you actually look at the creativity that he offers to the team, which he's got better with over years, he's a creative player, he's one of our more creative players as a matter of fact. So if you're going to call one of our most creative players in the squad greedy, then I don't understand how we're winning stuff. Because it wouldn't work that way. What do you then? You can't just sit on the bench, you've got to say.
I'm going to ask Ruby a question.
And he's the main man in the team.
If we don't pay that money, and let's just all sit in here now, let's say he has asked for 500k. I think he's on about 250.
He deserves it, end of.
So if he
350
comes to the
is what he'll
table,
get.
if he comes to the table and goes, I want 500 grand, my contract runs out in a year. If we don't pay that, someone like he could go back to Chelsea and they
He shouldn't be paying that.
Ruby, what do you think is going to happen if we don't pay that?
$500,000 movie to anyone. Not to anyone in this world.
If we haven't bought out, we haven't extended anything that like the way that City has, like the way Man U has, any other team in the league has took it to the next level or at least tried to. I think if he asked for it regardless, because we haven't got anyone else, the only person we bought was Konate, and that was ages ago and I've not even seen him play except for pre-season, the one game I've seen him play. So I think regardless, we'd end up paying it. That's my opinion.
So you think we would pay that
I think-
if that's what he's asked for?
I think it wouldn't necessarily be that, but it would be higher than what he is now, what he's on now.
He'll get 350. That's the number that I made from about time.
If you're
He'll
Mo
be
Salah, you're looking around going, Ronaldo's on 500 grand a week.
No,
He's not Ronaldo.
No, because you're going to win it. No, stop it. Stop it. Mo Salah is the great, besides Steven Gerrard, the greatest player to ever grace this team in the Premier League. It's about time we show just the little.
That is a big shout.
Name me someone else. Name me
You're
someone
gassing
else.
it.
Come on, tell me how. You haven't gave me names. I just gave you my verdict on the situation. You haven't gave me names. You can't just say I'm wrong and not give me names above them. Besides Steven Gerrard, who's been better or had more of an impact than Mo Salah, based on trophies, based on performance and everything else.
Lucas Lavia.
No, leave Lucas out. That's my problem.
But it doesn't matter. Mo Salah, Suarez was here for a shorter space of time, never won nothing. Fernando Torres similar situation.
I think people talking about getting Suarez back then. No. Or Coutinho.
I'd take it, but it's a different conversation. The point that I want to just bring up is we need to start looking at him in that way. 500 grand isn't how you do that. You show that by paying him what he deserves, which is 350, which I think he's going to ask for.
But if Kane deserves 500,
He doesn't deserve 500, he's never going to get 500.
okay,
Here we
well,
go.
we've just seen an actual text from someone very important that has said that he would never ask for that, which is
Thank you very much. Right, we have just been given proper evidence, just a clue of who she said it. Lad, this
Wow,
of course
that is
is
a breaking bit
no,
of
that is
news
breaking.
there.
And what have I just said? There's not a chance on God's green earth that Salah would ask for that much money. What did I tell you? You've just been fucking told.
Who's playing a tune now?
I don't
I think
know.
they've stopped the music now, which is good. But, I mean, Ruby has just received a text there from someone who played for the...
Just that second.
Now, don't be throwing any names.
Yeah, no, I'm not throwing names in, I'm not throwing names in.
No, yeah, we'll move on from the swiftly from that thing. I told you.
Whoever said it, let's cut that bit out.
I told you. Salah is not that type of player, and this
I was just asking a question, mate.
Yeah.
I was just saying, if he has...
You started jumping on a train that she was on, and I don't like that. No, don't.
No, but James, stop. James, listen to me.
We're saying he is good enough to get more.
Yeah.
We're not saying he has asked
Wait,
that. I'm
it's not
saying...
about-
You disrespect the second greatest player that we've ever had in the Premier League. That's how he is disrespect.
Let's say he is.
Alright,
Okay,
so
cool, I agree with
wait
you.
there.
Salah.
No, he's known for Sadio Mane, so what? Him or Mane?
Right now, Salah's been in
Which one?
Right now,
I
Salah.
don't know if what's all made.
Right now, Salah is being in better form than Mane.
No, but not right
Salah
now.
hasn't
If
missed.
you're comparing him to Gerrard, it's not
Salah
right now.
hasn't missed.
It's in his whole...
He's won a Premier League and
time.
Gerrard hasn't.
Right, listen, a couple questions for you in the comments. Do you think
Salah.
Salah deserves 500 grand if that quote is true?
Because he was injured.
And the second question, apart from Steven Gerrard, who has been the greatest Premier League player for Liverpool, James is going with Salah.
Comfortably.
Yeah, it was doing comfortably. So let us know in the comments. You mentioned James's quote there.
Yeah.
Do you have sparks majors? I do absolutes. Now, James, it's been a pretty mad weekend for you.
I know, yeah.
So what we want to talk about now, and I'll make the point and then you get into it.
It's insane in a lot.
So Paddy Pimblett, aka Paddy The Baddy,
Paddy
won
The Baddy.
in his UFC.
Congratulations as well, mate. That's how you finish your UFC.
Well, that's to Molly as well,
Congratulations
man.
to Darren Till as well, but there was 3 Scousers fighting. Now James,
Hello.
the clip has emerged of Paddy The Baddy saying he doesn't do if buts and maybes, he does absolutely.
6 million.
Now, when I saw that,
6 million.
when I saw that, I was like, that's James's quote.
Yeah.
But let me just make this point. Let me just make this point, and then you can.
Yeah, well, sorry,
just a bit of transition. Just chill out for a sec. In terms of this football space, there's 2 people I think that have broken the barriers between being the fan and having that relationship with the athlete.
Yeah.
In terms of content that we've all made. First person who has been out here for time, who's been doing their thing, and we both love him, is Troops. Because that man, I mean, Aubameyang's saying about blood clot, and that's Troops'
Yeah,
right.
he created those.
So Troops has broken that barrier down.
And
He's going to
Lacazette.
continue to do that. He's going to continue, and Lacazette. But the second person, bro, after seeing what I saw at the UFC, is you. You're famous for having that quote, I don't do buts or names, I do absolutes. Paddy has said that.
On the telly.
Millions and millions and millions of views.
Think of how
I was
many
buzzing
people
for
would
you,
have
bro.
tuned
I was
in now, the fact that they changed the fight time so everyone at home could watch it.
Talk to me, bro.
So many people will have seen that.
Let him go for it
Yeah.
now. Go on.
Wait, just take a breath, and then go.
Cheers, Paddy.
You know how much you won't, but you know how much I love the UFC. It's like, besides football, it's my favourite sport, without a doubt. Like, nothing even comes close. Paddy is one of the most anticipated debuts the UFC have had for a while. Of course, he's from Liverpool. Even before any of this, I wanted him to do well. I met him a couple of years ago when I was doing a bit with Redmen. He had a fight for Cage Warriors. I think he ended up losing that fight, and it's just to see what I like is a story of adversity, and when you overcome adversity and still come out on the other side, coming better, that's boss to me. But anyway, obviously it's a big debut, you know what I mean? And then he puts on, arguably, shout out to Molly Meatball because she put on a fucking show, but Paddy probably got the performance of the night. He got chinned, and then chinned him.
Oh my.
Big one to the left.
It was the talk though at the end as well now, when he was like saying, oh, he's that, and then the lad went, well, he nearly got knocked out, and he went, he didn't get knocked out.
And you know what, Michael Bisping, I respect the fact he likes to question it, but he's shown, you know, he's got a chin, and then he's shown he can finish people as well. And that way goes scrub, he's a good fighter that he fought, so I just think, first off, that was so great, and that in itself, no matter what he goes on to achieve, it's his debut in the UFC.
Yeah.
So when I then load up my phone, go onto Twitter, getting sent loads of different shit, Instagram as well, and then I see the clip. I'm like, what's he said here, and why am I there? I thought people were just tagging me in it because I was Scouse, and Scouse. And then I saw him say the thing. I was like, he's just said me thing.
Your thing.
My thing. He said my thing. Honestly, I was so happy. I felt like crying. It was amazing.
Members,
No, I swear to God, like even Molly ended up messaging me in the morning, bless her, like, you know, she had a lovely night of celebrating and she was just like, yeah, we were laughing at you, and it meant the world, because it's like, check the way expressions love WWE. Yeah. So if you ever went on there, that's a big deal. Yeah. That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
That's like a big deal for me. That's my version.
It's not even for you though, it's just a big deal, end of. That was his debut and he won.
And he said that.
And he said your line on the telly. Like, it's not for anyone, it's big as a whole.
It's humbling, man.
Appreciate
this is what I mean, like,
let it sink in.
There's not many people that could get, you know, for example, like, you know, we know the expressions, right? Yeah. Imagine he says, you know them way there. That's his line, yeah? If we see Harry Kane coming out and saying that,
you know that right there. To the fire.
We would be like, oh my god, he just said X's thing.
Yeah.
But
lads, I don't even know, you know, like,
we're having a drink now.
Of course, cheers to that, you know
it
what
can
I
only
mean?
benefit you. Do you know what I mean? Him saying that, and you're rightfully getting all the credit for it, because
even in the comments, everyone was like, that's James Edmonds thing, that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things like that don't get you as your own little brand that you're creating, that gets you so
I'm very
much more
grateful for
traction.
everyone who's jumped on board, you know what I mean? And like, when I next speak to Paddy, I'm going to say thank you, because I'm going to be like, listen, that means a lot to me, do you know what I mean? Like, it's a Scouse thing. Now I've realised what the video is, it's a Scouse thing. When people from outside Liverpool meet a Scouse, they'll say something like that. Do you know how many times I've heard people saying, oh, I was in London, and then someone came over and just said this thing to me, and I was like, that's changed.
It's like when I done the Liverpool commercial and I had to shout Scouse Power, people still come up to me now in town and ask for pictures, and it's like Scouse Power.
It's mad, it's mad. So I just think, it's just humbling, you know what I mean, when you see people back and what you do.
It's the city though, isn't it?
It's what we do.
He just came out and said it was so smooth, there wasn't any stumbling.
I think it was the adrenaline of it.
Lad, he definitely loves the video, lad. Even Darren Till shared it on his story a few weeks ago. It was like, this is Darren Till when he was a kid, and he shared it on his story. They're all on it, lad. Everyone in Liverpool. If you are from Liverpool and you haven't saw that video, then
you must be living under a rock.
Some mad rock, though. Do you know what I mean? Because even some people in rocks would have been able to see that video. You can't miss it.
Yeah, you would have hated it at least under the rock.
Under the rock, man. No, listen, it's amazing.
Let's just say, 17-year-old Hammers smashed it.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's just say, 17-year-old Hammers is the exact same as
literally the exact same.
You're 20 now, aren't you? Yeah, that's too old.
Not a teenager. But what an incredible moment for someone from Liverpool to be on a stage like that, which, let's be honest, he's deserved to be on that UFC stage. He should have been on there earlier, I think.
I think it's like that he's fully known that he's relatively young, isn't he? Like my age.
He's 25. In a fight game, that's a joke. He's in the UFC.
No, I know, but he's been one. Well, he's been. People have wanted him in it for years now, but he's known within himself he wasn't ready.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? He's known, he's still being young, he still wanted to go out and do whatever
maybe
he wanted to do.
COVID stopped him from getting in it maybe a year earlier.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think he was ready because he's, what, 15 and 0?
No, he's not in it. He's not undefeated. He's had a couple of losses.
In terms of like amateur stuff, though.
Amateur, I'm not sure about his amateur record.
The flying triangle, then.
He's a joke. His guard rate is insane. His striking is, he's showing his striking, even though there's still susceptibilities and he likes to have a scrap. He said that in his interview. He's like, the reason why my chin ends up going out is because I just like to fight.
Yeah.
That will bring people. Whether or not he becomes the champion, best believe people are going to tune into that fucker. Best believe that people will go to Anfield to watch him fight.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. He will sell out Anfield. He will sell out Anfield, and he was the one being talked about at the end of the night. He's a proper star.
His style of fighting though, I feel like that is why people who don't necessarily watch UFC as a sport, people who like kind of dabble in it, that is why people watch it, because he's doing stuff like the flying triangle, he's grappling, he is wrestling, he is
becoming more well-rounded.
Taking hits to the face.
He's taking hits, but he's also coming back, do you know what I mean? That is why people watch it.
I actually met him with the night we won the league, you know, that Chelsea game. outside the Arcles watching the team bus come in, and I met him that night, and the cameraman Jack, who you know, actually filmed something with him years ago. So Paddy is onto the Kop TV, so you're welcome on whenever you're ready, mate. You know where we are, and you're
Is he
just
a
get
red?
20% off. Of course he's a red.
No, Molly's a blue though.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's the one
everyone
bad thing
says
about
that.
Molly Meatballs, you know. It's a football
She
team.
never shows her best club, did she? No, do you know what I did love though? I love to see Everton posting a picture of Molly McCann after the game. I thought that was amazing.
Did they, yeah?
I loved it. I was so happy for it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You said that Liverpool tweeted out to Paddy as well.
Yeah.
I hope that they give them.
They said
give them
good luck to
a
the
round.
Scousers. So
To the
Molly
Scousers.
It was
goes down.
basically a scout card though.
No, it was all about us that night. And here's the thing as well, like even though Darren Till lost, which was a shame, I'd love to see Liverpool post like congratulations to Paddy The Baddy of them holding the flag with the 97 on it. I thought that was amazing because he's bringing that to a whole different audience. That obviously means a lot to us Scousers. And then it just becomes a little bit more than just some UFC fight.
Also as well, Chelsea Grimes playing at Soccer 8 this weekend wearing the number 97 on her back.
Bless her.
You know, playing
Bless
for
her.
the rest
Actually
of the
didn't even know
world.
that.
Didn't
Bless
they
her.
lose though?
No, they won. Rest of the world won. She was playing for rest of the world because she's Scouse, not English, obviously.
Yes!
But listen.
Oh no, but then she went because she plays for a team that
Merseyrail,
yeah. I was going to play for them, but I never.
She got your place, yeah.
No, I just never went.
Young
You're
baller.
not going to play if you don't go.
Yeah.
I mean, probably should spud him before.
Oh, I'm so
Oh
sorry.
my god. Yeah.
No, but she played that game, celebrated, and then played for Merseyrail on a Sunday.
Yeah, and she doesn't drink, so that probably helps. No hangover.
Yeah.
Love that. One more thing before we finish. I want to get your score predictions for this weekend against Leeds. It is going to be a tough game. We don't know really what the lineup's going to be because Javier has started every game. He's injured for the under-21s. Does Thiago come in?
I like the way a lot more people are rating Harvey though.
Because they
You have to though. You have to.
I know, but a lot of people never, because he's the talent he has now. He always had. It was just people didn't really kind of look at him that way. Because he was one of the babies coming in.
Nah, they just saw his trim, didn't like him. His ball, like his technique, yeah, is.
He does
like,
look better with short hair, like that.
Yeah.
Of course he does. I seen saw an interview with his, like his coach when he was at Fulham, was taking the piss, like finally got a haircut, didn't you lads? You know what I mean? But nah, it's just, it shows the maturity, it shows the skill, it shows the quality of him. The fact that he's now in the first team, he's keeping on players like Thiago, fuck off, like. Are you joking? He went into the championship a 17-year-old boy and he left it.
15.
Nah, 17.
He's 17 now.
No, he's 18 now.
No, but he left Fulham in 2017.
No, I'm saying when he was in the championship last season.
Sorry. Yeah.
So last season
was
he
there
went into
for
there a
Fulham.
17-year-old boy. He came out an 18-year-old man now.
Good
He
job.
came out an 18-year-old man.
Yeah, just about. But I feel like the way he's got Liverpool tattoos, he does his lap of honour after every
Yeah.
game when he goes
Gives
around
his
the whole
boots away and all
pitch,
that.
gives his boot away. I mean, I'm going to make a bet right now that the kid will be playing at Liverpool for the rest of his career.
He's got a
The
Liverpool
rest of
tattoo.
his career, the whole of it.
20 years of it.
Okay, so what's the bet then?
Well, if he
Yeah,
leaves,
it's
what's the bet?
Okay, yeah, but what
Nah,
is
we
the
have to
bet?
25.
We have to put something on it. 20?
20 quid. That's
20
50, go on
quid.
then.
50 quid.
I mean, this week we'll have to
He's
look back
all
on this.
watching this.
We might have to look back on this in 20 years.
We need to do what the equivalent of 50 quid is because if it changes, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
Well, in
Well,
20 years, 50 quid would be about 200 quid. So the inflation.
Yeah, you know, it's 200.
But let's see if he leaves. I mean, I'm saying he won't leave. I don't want him to.
I don't
If he
think
does,
anything
he
can
makes some
happen.
money.
Anything can happen.
But anyway, score predictions for the weekend.
I'm saying 4-1.
Wait.
Yeah, man, it's Leeds, man.
I
Yeah, but
wouldn't
you
say that.
beat them
I wouldn't say
1-0.
that.
Shout out the Leeds fans. It's either you beat them 1-0, they beat you 1-0, or it's 5-1 either way.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and I think we've got a solid defence.
And it's my money
To
down the
happen.
drain because I'll always bet the other team.
So 4-1 away
I'll
win.
say 3-2 win.
3-2 win to Liverpool. I'm going with 2-0 away win. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
2-0?
2-0.
I'll take it 2-0.
I'd
I'd
say,
love that.
I'd believe that because didn't Bamford get took off early for England as well?
Yeah, he did yesterday. I mean, not because of the Liverpool game, just because he was rubbish, I think.
No, I know, that's what I mean. So if he's not up to scratch, he'll either perform
He's a dangerous fullback.
against us or he will also kind
He's
of.
got this celebration, doesn't he? He does that. Don't know what it's for.
Shout out.
Very cool.
Anyone know what it's for? Let us know.
I just want to disclaim before the end of the video as well. She's not taller
Don't
than
tap
me.
the table.
I am.
You know
She's
the
not
dance.
taller than me.
I am.
No, she's
I
not.
have been sat on my legs
Both
though.
stand up.
'cause I
Yeah.
slouch.
No, you won't be seen if you both stand up. But let us know in the
I'm
comments
taller.
who you think is taller, James or Ruby. Thank you for
He
coming
is little,
on.
like.
Smash a like because
Kopics.
it means more than you think. I'm
Episode
6 foot.
5.
I'm
You're
not
not
small.
6.
I am 6
Is
foot.
James 6 foot? That's the.
Yeah.
Why
Is
do you
he
tell
6
us the
foot?
comments to be asking?
Yeah.
6 foot, okay.
Is he 6 foot?
But listen, talk to us about what you're going to do in the comments for all those people liking the video. And
First few hours of the video, I'm going to reply to your comments on my own personal channel. Make sure you get them in there. Any questions, any unpopular opinions, any statements like I am 6 foot, James, you are 6 foot, that will get replied to.
Not
Don't worry
6
about
foot.
that. I'm 6 foot.
James is 6 foot.
I'm 6
Plus 10 points. Ruby, what do you want us to talk about next week? Obviously, Hot Kopics. We talk about the Hot Kopics, don't we? Is there anything you'd like us to continue talking about next
What
week?
is the topic that is hot for you?
I don't know. I just like kind of speaking on the whim.
On the win. Yeah.
I'm not really a planner.
Yeah, no, I know you're definitely. not.
Yeah, I was late.
Yeah, very late.
If anyone knows me, I'm late for everything.
But we won't hold that against you.
The
Thank you
reason
very
that
much.
you used was a joke as well, by the way.
Anyway, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But the reason, thank you for coming on Hot Kopics episode 5. We're going to have you on a lot more. Show some love in the comments. Ruby,
Can't
put your
wait to
Instagram
watch
there as well.
to do the watch alongs.
Exactly.
You know
Ruby
that.
is going to be involved in the smaller away watch-alongs,
Yeah.
which is a bit insulting to those teams actually, but the smaller ones you will be a part of. James Redmond, always part of the channel. And we can't wait to have you back on Hot Kopics next week. Remember, like, comment and subscribe.
I might
Come down
dabble
to
in
Jurgen's.
the comments if you
Swing
can
it
find
to
it.
up.
20%
Yeah,
off if you
20%
come down to Jurgen's.
They do
But-
crisp. No one cares about the berries. They do crisp.
But there is a food menu coming soon
No,
as well,
but
which we
there's
should-
nothing
They
better.
told me to say that.
There's nothing better than having a berry, feeling a bit, and you start by crisp.
Yeah. Well, listen, other crisps are available. of course.
Crisp.
So yeah, get down to Jurgen's, say Hot Kopics, you get 20% off. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Whoa. Just before you go,
Don't forget, give us a like, drop us a comment and subscribe to the Kop TV.
the voice of football's most famous stand.